It is indeed possible to encounter induced voltage in a Romex cable running parallel to another. This phenomenon occurs due to electromagnetic induction. When two Romex cables are situated close to each other and one carries alternating current, a magnetic field is generated around that cable. This magnetic field can then interact with the conductors within the adjacent Romex cable, thereby inducing a voltage within it. The principle behind this is based on Faraday's law of induction, which states that a changing magnetic field induces a voltage in any nearby conductor. Consider the described scenario involving the switch leg and the Romex originating from the basement. The proximity of these two cables, running parallel for a distance of approximately 4 to 5 feet, created an environment conducive to voltage induction. The energized switch leg, carrying alternating current to the hallway light fixture, produced a fluctuating magnetic field. This magnetic field permeated the nearby Romex cable from the basement, resulting in the observed 50 volts reading. When the energized switch leg was rerouted into a separate hall, the distance between the two Romex cables increased. This increased separation weakened the magnetic field interaction, substantially reducing the induced voltage in the previously affected Romex cable. Several factors influence the magnitude of induced voltage in such situations. Firstly, the distance between the cables is a critical determinant. As the distance increases, the magnetic field strength experienced by the adjacent cable diminishes, leading to a lower induced voltage. Secondly, the amount of current flowing through the source cable plays a significant role. High current levels generate stronger magnetic fields, resulting in greater induced voltage. Thirdly, the frequency of the alternating current is also a factor. Higher frequencies produce more rapidly changing magnetic fields, which can induce higher voltages. The length of the parallel run is an important factor. The longer the parallel run, the greater the exposure to the magnetic field, and the higher the induced voltage. Finally, the type of conductors and insulation used in the cables can also influence the induced voltage. In most residential wiring scenarios, the induced voltage is typically low and does not pose an immediate safety hazard. However, it is crucial to recognize its potential presence and understand the underlying mechanisms that generate it. Measuring voltage with a digital multimeter can sometimes present challenges. Digital multimeters are high-impedance devices, which means they draw very little current from the circuit under test. This high impedance can lead to inaccurate voltage readings in situations where there is induced voltage or stray capacitance. In these cases, a meter may be measuring a voltage that is not actually capable of delivering any significant current. A voltmeter or similar non-contact voltage tester is even more sensitive to induced voltage and can give false positives even more easily. When troubleshooting electrical circuits, it is important to use a combination of methods including voltage testing, continuity testing, and visual inspection. It is also important to understand the limitations of each type of test equipment. Induced voltage can cause confusion, especially when troubleshooting circuits. The presence of a voltage reading might lead to the incorrect assumption of an active circuit. It is essential to differentiate between induced voltage and a genuine energized circuit. Induced voltage is generally characterized by its low current carrying capacity. While a digital multimeter may display a voltage reading, attempting to draw current from the circuit will typically cause the voltage to collapse or significantly decrease. A simple way to test for induced voltage is to use a load. Connect a small load, such as a light bulb or resistor, to the circuit. If the voltage drops significantly when the load is connected, it is likely induced voltage. If the voltage remains relatively constant, it is likely a genuine energized circuit. There are steps to minimize the risk of induced voltage in electrical installations. One approach is to maintain adequate separation between Romex cables, particularly those carrying substantial current. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines on spacing and installation practices to reduce electromagnetic interference. Twisting conductors can help to cancel out magnetic fields. When conductors are twisted, the magnetic fields generated by each conductor tend to cancel each other out, reducing the overall magnetic field. This can be an effective way to reduce induced voltage in parallel runs of Romex cable. Using shielded cables can also help to reduce induced voltage. Shielded cables have a metallic layer that surrounds the conductors, which helps to block electromagnetic fields. Grounding the shield provides a path for induced currents to flow, further reducing the induced voltage. Conduit, such as metallic conduit, provides a grounded shield. Running conductors in metallic conduit helps to minimize induced voltage and provides physical protection for the conductors. Another technique is to use balanced circuits. In a balanced circuit, the current flowing in one conductor is equal and opposite to the current flowing in the other conductor. This helps to cancel out the magnetic fields, reducing induced voltage. Avoid long parallel runs of Romex cable. The longer the parallel run, the greater the opportunity for induced voltage to occur. If possible, route the cables so that they cross each other at right angles. In commercial and industrial settings, where sensitive electronic equipment is used, more stringent measures may be necessary to mitigate electromagnetic interference. These measures may include the use of shielded cables, filters, and other specialized equipment. In addition to induced voltage, there are other factors that can cause voltage readings in electrical circuits. One common cause is capacitive coupling. Capacitive coupling occurs when two conductors are separated by an insulator, forming a capacitor. Alternating current can flow through this capacitor, creating a voltage reading. Another cause of voltage readings is static electricity. Static electricity can build up on conductors, creating a voltage potential. In some cases, the voltage can be high enough to cause a shock. Improper grounding can also cause voltage readings. If a circuit is not properly grounded, stray currents can flow through the grounding system, creating a voltage potential. When troubleshooting electrical circuits, it is important to consider all of these potential causes of voltage readings. It is also important to use a systematic approach to troubleshooting, starting with the simplest possible explanations and working your way up to more complex ones. Always follow safe electrical practices when working with electrical circuits. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. De-energize the circuit before working on it, and use a voltage tester to verify that the circuit is de-energized. If you are not comfortable working with electrical circuits, hire a qualified electrician. Always consult the National Electrical Code or local electrical codes for specific requirements and guidelines related to electrical installations. The NEC provides comprehensive information on safe wiring practices and helps ensure the safety of electrical systems. Some specific NEC articles that are relevant to this topic include Article 300, Wiring Methods, which covers general requirements for wiring methods, Article 310, Conductors for general wiring, which covers conductor requirements, including ampacity and insulation, and Article 390, Cable Trays, which covers the installation of cable trays, which are often used to support and route cables in commercial and industrial buildings. Other resources that can be helpful include electrical engineering textbooks, online forums, and manufacturers' websites. These resources can provide additional information and guidance on troubleshooting electrical circuits and understanding the principles of electromagnetic induction. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous, so it is important to take precautions and follow safe practices. If you are not qualified to do electrical work, hire a licensed electrician. Some additional points to consider. Firstly, regarding the use of a voltmeter or non-contact voltage tester, these devices are useful for quickly detecting the presence of voltage, but they should not be relied upon for accurate voltage measurements. Non-contact voltage testers work by detecting the electric field around a conductor. They are sensitive to induced voltage and can give false positives. Secondly, when using a digital multimeter to measure voltage, it is important to select the correct voltage range. If the voltage range is too high, the meter may not be sensitive enough to detect small voltages. If the voltage range is too low, the meter may be damaged. Thirdly, when troubleshooting electrical circuits, it is important to have a good understanding of the circuit diagram. The circuit diagram shows how the components are connected together and can help you to identify potential problems. Fourthly, always use a reliable voltage tester to verify that a circuit is de-energized before working on it. Never assume that a circuit is de-energized just because the switch is off. Fifthly, if you are not sure how to troubleshoot an electrical circuit, hire a qualified electrician. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take precautions. It's also important to note that the 50 volts reading, while seemingly low, can still be perceptible and potentially problematic in certain scenarios, especially in sensitive electronic equipment or control circuits. It's always best to eliminate any induced voltage to ensure the proper functioning and safety of the electrical system. The process of drilling another hole and rerouting the switch leg effectively addressed the problem by increasing the physical separation, which is a common and effective method for mitigating induced voltage issues. Remember to always prioritize safety and consult with qualified professionals when dealing with electrical systems.